What's up, guys? It is finally warming up here in Minnesota. I feel great. I took a hot shower. I'm freshly shaved and I'm ready to go. Today's video is devoted to building dual aquarium stands, and in specific right now, these are dual 75-gallon tank stands, and I do all of my stands as dual stands. And the reason is because if I'm gonna have a stand, why not have another tank below it? Because let's be honest, more tanks, the better, right? All my stands are all dual tank stands. I got these, and I got a bunch that I'm building out in the shop, and we're going to get to that in a second here. And I'm gonna show you how I build them, and it's not rocket science, but yeah. To give you guys some updates, here in the shop, or not the shop, sorry, the fish room, I took the flower horn out of this tank because a bunch of people were commenting and saying, hey man, he's beating up your severums. I don't think you should put him in there anymore. And that's probably true. I took him out. I'm gonna let him chase some African cichlids here in this tank, and it's probably not the best long-term deal, but I'm gonna move around some fish and see what I have going on. I also have a super aggressive Midas in that tank up there. So some things are up in the air right now. And also I have some firemouth cichlids. I cut out all breeding here in the fish room, and the reason is because I'm too busy out in the shop. And of course they go ahead and breed in this community tank setup. I never would have thought they would do this because there's a bunch of angels in here and some other rainbow cichlids, but they went ahead and did it anyways. But it's not the end of the world. Maybe they can raise the babies on their own without having too much issues. And also one more thing, I'm trying to set up, God, I got something on my nose. Of course, it's still there. One more thing, I'm going to be doing a cool live stream either tonight or tomorrow night on some DIY decorations. And what I'm going to be doing is I got a bunch of terracotta pots, and I'm going to try to glue them together using this pond and stone foam. It's a black coloration. I talk a lot about this, and I got some massive terracotta pots. These are the big boys here, the biggest of them all. And it's going to be a super cool build. So it might be kind of scary because it'll be on a live stream, and it's going to be super messy, but I'm going to try my best, and I think it'll be cool to just watch. So, but yeah, let's get into this. Some DIY 75-gallon, 55-gallon aquarium dual stands. So here is my dual 75-gallon tank stand setup, and what I did was I built two stands and screwed them together, and it looks really cool because I also had enough room to put 40-gallon breeders below them. But I must admit that there's not a lot of room to get into the 40-gallon breeders because you run out of room and measurements become super important. And here is my dual 6-foot tank setup to where they are stacked. But I must say that is a steel beam going across there. That is not a regular 2x4. I really believe a person really has to be careful when building DIY stands like this because this is a lot of weight and it just gets crazy. So here is a stand that I've been working on. This is in the other fish room that just didn't get finished. I was in the works of painting it. But you want to make sure when building these stands that you have kind of the brace underneath it, because when you have the frame that holds the stand, all the weight is actually on the screws. And right here, like this instance, this level here doesn't have that bracing underneath it, and that is a huge deal. And when you put in a brace underneath there, you either need to use a big lag screw like I did in the top ones, or else run a brace going the entire vertical way up and down to hold the weight. All right, to help you guys here, I'm going to give you guys some measurements here. It's kind of hard to hold the camera as I do it, but the 55-gallon tank and the 75-gallon tank are 48 inches wide, so I just went like 48.5 inches. And as far as the width goes, I know the 75-gallon tank is 18 inches wide, so I went like a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch over just to kind of give you a little bit of room. But I think the 55-gallon is actually 12 inches wide, so you'd want to go like 12.5. There's a couple different ways to build these, but the height measurements is actually really important because if you're looking to get like a low tank on the bottom, like a 40-gallon breeder, it makes a big difference. So I went with, it looks to be 23.5 for the bottom tier. And I use the same measurement on all these that I build because it's just, I've spent tons of time figuring it out. And this top one is 55 inches tall. So hopefully that helps you. And if you're doing a 55-gallon dual stand, you may not be able to get a tank on the bottom because they're a little bit taller than the 75. Hopefully that helps you. It's not the entire process of building the stand, but I will be doing a video on that very soon.